In this video, we're going to learn how to put in 220K in the middle with just 8 high and 7 high pre-flop.
Well, Doug's really on his A game today.
Yeah. A game material.
A game.
I think that'd be good. We warm up a bit with 2-400, even 1-200. Also give new faces to get multiple faces to get involved.
Here we go.
Yes.
Rob opens to 3,000 with pocket sixes. Wesley puts in a very light 3-bet, 8-4 suited on the button. And Doug Polk puts in the cold 4-bet with 7-6 suited in the small blind.
I hate having to do this.
It's going to push Rob out and likely push Wesley out.
Empty the clip. Sometimes you gotta empty the clip.
Nope. Here comes a 5-bet right in your grill, Doug Polk. A small one. Yeah, Doug's got a call.
The action actually starts with Rob in Under the Gun +1, still on the $1 million game. Everyone has $1 million on the table. He open raises pocket sixes to 3K. There's no straddle going on in this hand. Then it gets folded to Wesley on the button, who decides to take a stand with his 8-4 of spades and 3-bets it to 12K. Very reasonable 3-bet sizing, not a very reasonable hand choice, just a clear fold, but well, a little deeper with position, feel free to do some damage. So now we see a cold 4-bet by Doug. He will be aware that Wesley is an absolute artist and has like a wide and partly weird 3-betting range. So he wants to be prepared here, and he goes for a cold 4-bet with 7-6 suited, which I personally like a lot because we are playing 1,000 big blinds deep here, which means there are lots of more streets to come. There's a 5-bet possible, and still there's lots of money to play for. You want to be prepared for this spot. I always think of pre-flop as preparation for the next street and the next street and the next street. When we play 100 big blinds deep, usually the hand is over with a 5-bet. 200 big blinds, maybe it's like 6 bets, but that's it. Here, the action just starts. And 7-6 suited is such a beautiful hand to have here because you have something you can react with once facing a 5-bet or getting the trap calls in there. 7-6 suited plays beautifully against pocket kings and aces, hits some low boards that no one expects. You have the solid equity and just performs in some spots just way better than actually something like ace-queen offsuit or even ace-queen suited. I like that preparation for the further streets a lot by Doug here. And now back to Wesley, who decides to put in a freaking 5-bet with 8-4 suited. I would love that 5-bet. Not necessarily the hand selection, but if someone is going with all the high cards, ace queens and ace jacks, and is very, very linear on that end with 4 bets, you can actually give him trouble with 5 bets like that. If he ends up calling with those hands, well, we actually have decent equity. As long as you're not running into a pair. Against aces and kings, actually you're doing fine as well with, it's not a suited connector, but it's suited and low, and it's like just the worst 7-6, let's call it like that. Now back to Doug, who actually is prepared for that spot and doesn't sit on like ace queen offsuit only. He actually has a hand that does well, even if Wesley has it, and has a very, very, very easy call here.
Wesley has no idea that his 8 high is good heading to the flop. No longer good. Doug flops middle pair. There is 1 spade out there. Doug puts in the call.
All right, we see a flop of ace of hearts, 7 of spades, deuce of hearts. Backdoor kind of double straight draw for Wesley and the backdoor flush draw. It's something to work with. It's not too bad, right? Every 3, every 5, every 6 gives him a gut shot. Every spade, obviously a flush draw. And Doug catches a piece of the flop. He's drawing dead to pocket aces. Well, he can catch the running 7s, okay? But he beats all the bluffs that contain an ace. Once he hits 2 pairs, definitely has equity. and just an okay hand to continue with against pretty much anything here. Wesley decides to follow up with a third pot c-bet, puts out like 75k in the 225k pot. And Doug, I think, has the chance to attack something like kings, queens, jacks right now if they are ever 5-betting, or even some pure bluffs by check raising, which is an option, or by check calling. I like the passive play here by Doug. His draw is not to the nuts anymore. Wesley can absolutely have pocket aces. Yeah, a 7 and a 6 are not clean outs when you try to build maybe a pot of 2 million here. So taking that way with in the back of your mind, seeing that as a chance, like having equity plus potentially bluffing off pairs under an ace a little later. Because here's the point. What is Doug's range here? It should contain lots of suited aces, maybe pocket aces himself, slow playing at that point. Definitely quite some ace-king suited and offsuit, as well as some pocket pairs containing a heart at that point. So something like a pocket jacks with a heart. Pocket jacks without a heart might even fold right away. So it depends a little on the dynamics and how crazy Wesley is in Doug's eyes here. And yeah, we'll see a turn.
This pot is $376,000. Look at the hands. Doug's got third pair. Wesley has complete air. However, if he can bomb this turn card, gotta believe the pot is his.
The turn is the pretty irrelevant 9 of clubs. None of those guys should have pocket 9s, and it doesn't change anything regarding their hand. So 8, 4 of spades didn't catch up anything. Wesley knows he will end up with nothing in this hand and might go for it or not. Doug didn't add anything and will probably just let go against any bet here. Pretty certain this is how it play out. Yeah, Wesley makes the decision to check back here. Probably goes with some kind of blockers, like blocking some ace-king, ace-queen at least, to keep bluffing here or having equity. If he had 5-6 suited here or some 10-8 suited, he might keep firing just to build a pot in case he hits his hand and has some additional nut equity to go with. His 8-4 of spades, pretty standard give up if you get in the 5-bet pot with that. And well, Doug has no option but checking, so very, very standard play here from both. Now we get to the river, seeing a card, and probably Doug having a decision here.
Instead, it's a 5. Front door flush draw comes in.
I think last night's version, like, well, you gotta think about a lot of fucking shit when you play it. It's like super fun. I like it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like, I feel like it changes the game completely.
River is the 5 of hearts. Now Doug has to think about, do I turn my hand into a bluff, or do I believe in having showdown value against someone as crazy as Wesley here? And here's the point where we absolutely want to think about our range. Doug definitely chases flush draws on the flop. He might play something like king, queen of hearts the same way. Maybe jack 10 of hearts, definitely 6, 7 of hearts. Yeah, he has flushes. And now let's think about which worse hand than a 7 does he have. Maybe he has something like pocket 9s, 10s, jacks. I doubt it. Yeah, he has some of them with hearts. He's folding those without, definitely on the flop. I'm just guessing he has some ace queen, ace king. Therefore, I would come to the conclusion that 7-6 needs to go into a bluffing range and giving Wesley trouble when he sits there with kings and queens, maybe with an ace 4 suited, something like that he might have decided to 5-bet. Yeah, then I'm fine with my play, whatever Wesley's decision is. Now, sizing wise, I would think about, okay, what's the majority of my range want to do? Because I don't have like a special card, like a heart, like good blockers to do something fancy like overbet jamming or so. So I probably want to choose a sizing that I want to use with my ace king, ace queen as well, to target maybe Wesley's weaker ace X and pocket kings, queens. Yeah, I would go with something not too crazy personally here. Let's see Doug's decision and let me know how you would have played that hand. Would you have ever played 7-6 suited as a cold 4-bet, understanding that in a very deep game that can make a lot of sense? And are you ever turning your flop mid pairs into a bluff in a cold 4-bet pot? Let me know.
Like, it's not even close to being the same thing.
I don't like this standard.
Doug's gonna turn his hand into a bluff.
Okay. Not too often, Rob.
Look at that.
275.
This would be interesting if Wesley had the king of hearts in his hand. I wouldn't put it past him to go all in. I think he's just saving face here, however. No recourse when you're holding the 8-4.
Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Can I get some hands? You
have the best hand.
Oh, with the fist pump. All right. Fist bumps. Come on, it was nice. I'm an artist. I'm an artist.
I have the best hand.
Oh, okay.
It's natural.
Okay.
You're not the artist. I'm 8 high.
You are not the artist. I have 8 high. I'm glad I bet then.
I'm not lying. You can say my hand.
That's a good line. You are not an artist. I had 8 high.
That's it. All in. 8 high.
All in, you are artist, Wesley.
Yeah.
Alright guys, you have seen two absolute beasts going at it with 8 high and 7 high pre-flop in $1 million game. Let me know in the comments whether you like this type of content, and don't forget to subscribe to the Poker Code channel.